Hi guys, so right now I'm actually filming with my new Sony camera. If you catch me in this video looking to the side a lot, it is definitely because I'm not used to having a big viewfinder sticking out on the side, and I'm trying to get used of the different frame. But hopefully this is now going to be an upgrade in quality. It's got face tracking, this camera, so it should light my face a little bit better. But what is today's video about? So a few weeks back I did the video on Yuheim Son's Extreme Minimalism, and I mentioned that it gave me an idea for a future video. I obviously live with somebody else, so I can't just go and get rid of all my furniture, but what I wanted to do in this video is show you three parts. I wanted to show you how I have majoritively got rid of my furniture, because a lot of furniture is gone since the last home tour. Then what I'm going to be doing over the coming week to kind of test out living completely furniture free. It's something that has always fascinated me. I think perhaps if I did live alone I would trial it, especially when you're in a perhaps period where you move home, so nothing is out, to really see how empty your home really feels. Because I am honestly somebody who loves space over clutter and stuff. Really the last piece of furniture that we do have that's considered normal furniture in a home is a sofa. All our other furniture and things that we use even to store things on are homemade. Our bed that used to be on legs, like a normal sort of height of bed, we took the legs off of that, we've changed our minds about it, and we're now dealing with just a futon on the floor that was also homemade out of wood. So I want to go around first and show you just how sort of furniture free we currently are. We don't have much at all, like really the sofa is the only thing, but I'll show you the changes we've made and the little bit of furniture that does still currently exist in the apartment. And then I would also like to show you what I've been doing this week to test out how I would really feel being completely furniture free, i.e. sleeping in the hammock and things like that. So first of all, we have this very, very small coffee table, and why am I including this? I'm including it for people who are regular viewers of my channel, so that they realise that this really cannot be counted as my furniture. I actually made this piece of furniture from salvage wood. When I made it, my partner decided that he loved it and wanted to keep it, because often then when he sits on the sofa he uses it as a footstool as well. I usually actually sit in this corner and use the radiator shelf just as a ledge to put, say, a cup on. So this really is not mine. I don't like coffee tables. I think they get in the way of access to the sofa. So I obviously live here in this apartment with my partner, and I cannot, you know, control how somebody else wants to live. So even though you will see this in my videos, it is really not my piece of furniture. So the next thing you will see in way of furniture that we made a decision to do quite after moving into this apartment is we did originally think we would get a little table or something in the window, but then we decided to work with what was already inbuilt. We realised we had this counter space that could work perfectly well as a bar table, so we didn't buy a full piece of furniture in order to make use of what we already had. And the next area that you've all probably seen a lot in the upcoming videos or in the last videos is this little desk shelf that I made. It is just right for the right size for me to have my laptop on. I turn it sideways when it's on use so I can rest my elbow, and it's just a relaxing little place to make the use of this little bit of space we have in the corner, but without actually having any furniture really. It is just a shelf and one chair. So let's move into the next area. So out here in this hallway you will often see these big set of drawers, but as some of you on my Patreon may know, who I've shown inside these drawers since reorganising, none of these drawers are actually mine for clothes. I used a clothes rail in the other room, which is where we're about to go, and all that is kept in here is I have one underwear drawer. Everything else is my partner's. Because we had such limited space, we decided we really did need one set of drawers, and that's why our bed is now on the floor, because before we were going to have underbed storage, but we didn't like the bed being so high, so this is the one set of drawers that we have in our apartment. And I believe that that is quite a feat, because we have no inbuilt wardrobes, no inbuilt cupboards, no inbuilt drawers. One drawer exists in the whole apartment that is inbuilt, and that is in the kitchen that we keep our cutlery in. So any furniture that we wanted for this apartment, i.e. any storage, we had to make or bring or buy ourselves, and I have chosen to mainly make them all. I painted this as well. So let's move into the next room. So on the way to the next room, I thought that we could have a go at this new camera's vlogging capabilities, and basically I put one of these ladders actually on the wall, and you can see, ooh, better not take my hand off, and as you can see it is also an inbuilt hat rack, but it also holds these ladder shelves that I made, and it has our little plants and things on it. But let's move into the next room. So guys, as you can see, our bed is now completely on the floor. We did lower it down onto some mini legs, but I will show you them legs because they've come off. So we moved from our big black pipe legs to these tiny legs, and we had these tiny legs so the trolley that was holding our projector could just slide under the bed. I decided I wasn't really bothered about that. I didn't even want the trolley anymore. The trolley is going, it's not here in this room anymore, it's literally just waiting to be sold. And I got a little side table that is multifunctional. Obviously you see them a lot in these furniture videos. I do love them, I'll show you why in a minute. What's great about it is it can also be a stand for our projector, so we just pull that out to make it the correct throw to our wall whenever we want to watch something. And we even got rid of the shelf that was behind the bed, and we've just got that nice little canopy up instead to make us feel all cosy. And what I actually love about that is that because it's just a calming neutral beige colour, and it sort of fills the strange little alcove there that we had going on, but makes a kind of backing to the bed that's nice, so it's not like a big hole gaping at the back of the bed. We just decided we wanted our bed right up in the corner, so it wasn't going into our, you know, our really tiny little bit of space that we have here in this room. I have mentioned, I think, in the home tour that the flat is only 343 square feet. So this bedroom alone, I think, is, I'm mainly working metres, it's about 4 metres, but not even a square, because the alcove steals about a metre of that in one corner. And yeah, the alcoves do, and then the entranceway with the door steals about another metre, so it's not even really that. So it's probably only about 14 square metres if you take off a metre there and a metre there. So lately, as you know, I've been moving around also when I'm editing and working to get the optimum, let me put this down, to get the optimum space when I'm editing, to never give myself backache. So some things I like to do lately is to also sit on that, and that is also what this week's video is going to be. But I wanted to give you a little brief look at how the new bedroom turnaround is looking. I will probably be doing an updated home tour soon and opening everything up, showing you in everything, showing you around everything, because we haven't actually got anything to open up. We really have no storage. You can just see my clothes peeking into the corner of the shop there. So I will show you them before we exit this room and we go to the second part of this video. Let's just give you a little insight into the rest of this room, and then we'll go back in there for a discussion. So this is currently how I have my clothes. I actually got all my summer clothing out of the capsule so that it was all there. I do share the bottom rail with my partner, so half of those my partner's clothes as well. That, in case anybody who hasn't seen a previous video is wondering, is a boiler cupboard. It is not a wardrobe, it is not a cupboard, it is just encasing the boiler, because this apartment is so small there was nowhere else for the landlord to put it. And then that little thing that I put in front is where I keep all my accessories. There is just no inbuilt storage anywhere in this room, in this apartment even. Got rid of the baskets off the top of there. We got rid of the shelf behind there, and let's see if I can go back. I'm still getting used to how to fully zoom out on this. And I even mounted this ladder up on the wall. It's going to be a plant trellis, and I'm going to have lots of plants over there. And we just have this eucalyptus that I use as a diffuser here. 2 tea light holders, amethyst and salt rock. And then this lavender essential oil pot. It's just got lavender petals in it. So that is the room. Let's go back through into the main lounge. Right guys, so I got this little seat / table tatami pad, and we will be doing a little review just on this alone, so I won't talk too much about this in this video. I'm going to do that as a YouTube short. So what have I been doing this week? This week I wanted to live as if I was completely furniture free. So I've shown you around, I've shown you that I don't really use that much furniture that's in this apartment that I share with my partner. What furniture do I normally actually use? In honesty, I use one of the stools, obviously, at the coffee bar area we've created in our kitchen. I use a chair at my desk shelf in the corner, and I use the sofa to sit on. Now the bed, technically, I think could be classed as furniture free, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people living furniture free, and they class themselves as furniture free even if they have a wooden framed futon structure on the floor, because I think in a lot of people's eyes furniture free means sort of living on a ground setting. So as long as you have something that is on the floor, it's technically furniture free still. So I think as bed is allowed. So what have I been doing this week? I've been trialling how to sleep furniture free, how to live furniture free. So whilst I'm talking, I'm probably going to insert some clips of me trialling out the hammock. Now I personally have heard mixed reviews about sleeping in a hammock. Apparently if you have the hammock at the perfect distance and setting, it does really not collapse in on itself too much, and apparently it does really support your spine. Now what I actually found was I do unfortunately not have mine set up correctly for sleeping, because I do live in this very small apartment, as I've already mentioned. So at the moment our hammock is more of this shape, more of a U shape almost, because it is in a very small bay window. That's where I wanted it, so I could see out to the trees at the end of our little lane. And it's not the best for sleeping, as you can probably see in some of these clips. I was struggling to get comfortable. After a while my back did begin to hurt. I kind of had to adopt a fetal position all the time, even though my back was being supported. I would like to try this again if I could perhaps just put some hooks up in the bedroom and have the hammock fully stretched at the rate it should be whilst I trial sleeping in the hammock. Obviously it's not something that I'm going to permanently do, you know, I live with somebody else, but I would love to give it a fair trial, and perhaps this wasn't a completely fair trial, but I just love the idea, especially if you were somebody living alone, a single person, of not even having a bed and actually just sleeping in your hammock. I once actually saw, other than Juheim's video, I once actually saw a video of an extreme minimalist, I think somewhere in Florida, and all he had was a hammock, and he would sit in it, sleep in it, relax in it. And you know, you may think I'm crazy, but his house just looked so tranquil and calm, because all he had were like these sometimes to sit on and his hammock, and also lots of space, which I just think's a great idea. Anyway, so I have trialed the hammock, and the verdict is still out. I just think that it is, I'm looking over right now as I'm talking to you, I think that it could be relaxing. For instance, I do love having a nap in it, how it swings gently, but I couldn't fully stretch out when I wanted to. So that is an open decision on what furniture free living with just a hammock would be like. But in terms of sitting on these, I do believe that doing a lot of floor sitting, at least mixing it up with regular sitting on chairs and sofas, does make you think about your posture more. For instance, now I'm sitting cross-legged for the effect of this shot, but what I found was when I actually sat like this, as I was typing on this little table that you guys are now standing on, sorry if I shook the floor, it kind of forced me to sit differently. So I definitely think having lots of different choices about how we sit can help improve strain and improve our posture. So this is what I've been doing for this week. I've basically been sleeping on the hammock, sleeping on the floor. Do you know the floor? I'll insert the floor clips here. The floor sleeping was actually quite comfy because the tatami mat itself was so thick. I don't think I'd have any problem in sleeping on the floor as long as you've got like a rug or a floor pad or a tatami mat. And there is definitely a lot of evidence to suggest that if you have some little bit of padding to take some of the strain off the curvature of your spine, it can be better to definitely have a firmer base for our backs. So I would obviously have to trial this for a lot longer period. Just doing the whole sitting on cushions for a week and sleeping in the hammock for a night and sleeping on the floor for a night doesn't really give it a full fair chance, I don't think. But it has been interesting to have an insight into what I feel it might be like. Obviously the only true way of testing it would be to live without the sofa perhaps for a week. Perhaps in the future, if we ever move again, I will try not bringing the sofa immediately, or not even unpacking it immediately, sort of leaving it on its side in a hallway to truly try what it would be like without a sofa. Now, I've often mentioned in my videos that I value comfort, so I don't think I will ever go without a sofa. I would just really like to trial the full essence of living furniture free. I know some people have the futon as a bed but also make it up as a sofa in the daytime, so there you've got a little bit of the best of both worlds. So that is another option for anybody wanting to go furniture free. But I definitely feel now, like in this apartment, that we barely have any furniture. For instance, our bed under the normal forms of furniture free is classed as furniture free because it's just a futon base on the floor. The drawers in the hallway are not mine. I've got rid of all of the little shelf tables that we had. I've got rid of all of the thin hallway tables that we had. The coffee table is not mine. So really the only item left is a stool in the kitchen, which again, by regular standards, this could be classed as a stool, i.e. a seat with no back. So let's leave that open to your interpretation of whether you think it is furniture or not. But then the one, I suppose, other piece of furniture I have is a chair at my desk. So a chair at my desk and a sofa. So nearly furniture free. Let me know if you guys have ever tried furniture free living, how you found it. I hope you like this video. Please allow me a few weeks to become accustomed to using my new camera. It is supposed to face track me and like my face. We'll see how well it's doing with that in post-production. And thanks again for watching and see you later. Bye!